Oh, Andrew, man, you were so close then. Like, I was gonna. So, for those that don't, hey everyone, how's it going? So, for those that don't know, Andrew, when that video was playing, all we saw was this, and I was gonna start with a full screen of you on your phone.
I
Oh, you
didn't
pulled
know
it
the
out the
intro well enough and know when to put it down. So
it was like the perfect timing. Nice, nice, smooth work. Nice, smooth work.
thank you.
Oh, how is everybody? Andrew, how are you anyway, dude?
Oh, good. Been busy updating the website, so now I've got a full collection of Lego Master Series 1 photos on there. It was one of the last ones, did all the rest of the world first, and now you guys are on there, so finally. Actually, I'm working on the US now. That's a pain in the ass.
You gotta save the best for last. Don't worry about the US. We're good. We're sweet as. Dan, how's New Zealand treating you? How you been over the last week, my friend?
Yeah, really good, mate. We've had some pretty decent weather here, so getting out and about. Did a few videos last week and spent most of today. Today was a public holiday, but I spent most of today making Ethernet cables to cable up all of the bedrooms in the house. So yeah, fun times.
Oh, you guys get Australia Day early. That's cool.
Indeed, we do. It's called Wellington Anniversary Day.
In the chat, Brickles, and of course our favourite April, Miss April. How are you tonight? And Maddie. So Bilsy has family over at the moment, and his family live like a million years in all different states away. So he's spent it with his family. So we've got Joe, also known as Concrete Bricks, down in the corner. Also known as my original. Most people won't know. My original Lego Master partner. So Joe was the guy that I originally went on the show with, and unfortunately was replaced by Mr. Kale. So everybody, Joe's in tonight, and our topic tonight is Lego photography. And
it's all Joe's fault.
Yep. And one topic that Joe is really good at is Lego photography. So I'll slowly bring that up, and we'll talk about that too. And we can't forget, obviously, Andrew, I guess your
mediocre.
Even though yours is very stop motion, yours is still very photography heavy.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because the photography chat gets very nerdy very quick, so you got to sort of ease into it, needs to ease back out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess, and it is becoming. We'll talk about. Let me bring up some few examples now. This guy I'm about to show you guys. We'll kick straight into it. Hold on. Actually, just got to rip the Band-Aid off, mate. We'll get into it. So let me just share the screen. We'll go into this one. So this guy, I really only started digging into him today. His name's Lucas Data. He was in the Polish Lego Masters, and he's always had a big following.
Yeah.
And I guess this is the best for me. This is what I like the most about a lot of the Lego photography is when you get the real big depth. The single focus point, the depth of field type, that style. A lot of these shots are.
They're with like a little macro lens, so he's probably got a 50 or he might have a 100mm macro, so he can get the whole frame's full of just the minifig.
Yeah, like you even look at even you check this one. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it doesn't even matter what's in the background of this one. Add a few effects and you've got that nice focus point. But isn't it funny? And the reason I was talking about it, other than wanting you on here, Joe, as well, is how popular and how full on, and especially in Lego, the photography is becoming now. Like, you write Lego photography, and man, like you got even people that aren't even AFOLs technically doing and using Lego photography. It's like this whole new boom out of nowhere.
It's across the board, though. It's toy photography as a whole has grown the last 2 or 3 years. So it's action figures, pop vinyls, Lego, everything. It's just exploded, and it's sort of become more and more mainstream. Because you're getting guys now that are toy photographers with like 100K followers and stuff like that. So they've got a huge following that generally aren't sort of in the toy community or Lego collecting community, but that are brought into it, and it's just growing and growing. So then you have people that aren't into Lego or aren't into action figures that have, say, pop vinyls. Then they go, oh, wow, look, I can take pictures of my pop vinyls. And, hey, there it happens.
What do you find harder, Lego or like 1 to 12 scale figures?
Yeah, Lego's heaps better. So
Yeah.
Lego, you can create. Yeah, it's what I started with, and like you can create an excellent image literally in an area that's like as big as the palm of your hand. You know what I mean? Whereas an action figure shot.
Perfect example on the screen right here, actually. What Bilsy showing this guy.
Look at that.
Look, it's on a book, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's excellent. Whereas action
literally
figures
just a book.
So sometimes
mate, your lag is annoying. But anyway, yeah. So the other thing, like you said as well, it's so practical and quick and easy to make the photos now to get that end result. And like he's just using literally nothing. Now I wish I could find our photos that we submitted for our application. We were doing the Batman photos in my front garden. Remember that one with air blowers and raindrops at Rabina?
Yeah.
But one thing, I guess, this guy, and you don't know, like, obviously when it comes to certain photos, let's see if I can find one for an example. Like, so say this one, right? As an example, I'd say this one, unless he shows, So his photo is obviously nice and sand and very well lit. But when you go to the actual photo, it's got, so there's your photo. There's no sparks. There's no, you know what I mean? So if we go back to the end result, he's added sparks or they've added smoke. And I guess with your stuff, let's flick over to your one. Where it comes to, let's just ignore all you got Lego ones in your Haze photographic?
No, you're on the wrong Instagram. That's one right. Photography. Right.
Big fan, Bilsy, or?
What's my concrete one?
You don't even have it. You don't even have it in your suggested.
No, okay. So you know why?
I want to see if he's following.
Let's not go to the top. No, because you know why. So when I went to Brickvention last year, I took Joe's photos. So if anyone went to Brickvention and they saw the photos that were behind my display, it actually said Haze Photographic, not Concrete Bricks. So that's why I went to Concrete Bricks. So here, this is a perfect example. Even though it's not Lego, your effects are real though, aren't they?
A lot of the time are practical, yeah.
Yeah.
So
like where I'm just trying to you got because like say this one, like for your sparks, right? Your sparks are legitimate sparks.
Yeah. They are. And I use a leaf blower.
Do you have some
the little small
do you have a atmosphere aerosol as well? The spray can of the smoke, fake smoke? There we go.
I do. Yeah.
And there's other ones you can get like an air blaster as well, mini air blasters?
Yeah, that one I think you're talking about, it's actually to like unclog sinks. So I think you pump a heap of pressure into it, and then you actually hit the trigger and it lets all the pressure go in one hit because you're supposed to stick it in the sink and sort of let it go.
Oh, right.
But I actually just use like a Milwaukee cordless blower.
Yeah, cool.
So for this one,
see that's my favorite photo I've ever taken, and it was also the easiest, quickest setup with my son on the beach on a Sunday morning. Literally, again, in an area as big as the palm of my hand, and I sort of dug down maybe this far into the sand, so it looks like hills behind it, and the same thing. And I was just lucky that the sun with the focus just sort of moved into two, and it almost looks like two suns like on Tatooine.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very nice. No.
And then you've got so this one, I saw this guy's work last year, 2 years ago when I went and seen Dan over in New Zealand. They were auctioning off some of these blow up type photos that this guy does, Warren Elsmore. And on some of his photography, he does a lot of building too. I find that was probably the best example. But
I didn't know Warren did toy photography.
What's that?
I didn't know Warren did toy photography. I interviewed him the other week for Brickvention. I had no idea he did any of this.
Yeah, he did a book called Brick Flicks. And it was it even to it, and it came. There's a local art centre in my hometown that brought Brick Flicks in as an exhibition, and our lug helped them out with some of the stuff. So,
wow.
They were all printed on large scale You can kind of see them if you scroll up there.
Hold on. Here we go.
Oh wow.
Well,
The
they're
ones
excellent.
over here are probably slightly different to that, but yeah.
Yeah. But still very, very
go
cool.
back one. Go back one.
It's automatically moving. Hold on.
No,
It's
yeah.
not letting me stop.
That Spartacus one there on the that was on the right.
Top
yeah, the
right.
one with the horse. I have that one.
Oh.
This one here.
Yeah, I actually got to keep that one from the exhibition. Well, I had to buy it. We auctioned them off. Bilsy auctioned them off for us last year at BrickCon.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, and he's like he's.
Was it like?
Go.
Sorry, was it a charity? Was it a charity thing, mate, or was it like profit?
So the art centre had it there. It's a free art centre, so they paid. I think they paid about $10,000 to actually have all the artworks printed onto a large acrylics, and they had them all backlit and stuff in the art centre, and they set up a Lego play area, and we set up some displays and stuff in there for them. So that was just done as part of the arts and entertainment for the the city council type thing.
And it did look good on the acrylic.
Yeah, at the end of the exhibition, they were all supposed to be destroyed because that was what the contract said. So I just went straight to Warren and asked Warren if we could auction them off and get them into the hands of the AFOLs and give the money to charity. And the fact of the matter is that the art centre is a charity. So I went back to the art centre and said, hey, Warren's cool if we auction these off and give the money to charity. And they were all like, oh, no, that's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you guys are a charity. And they were like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Yes, do that. So we went and sold them all off and gave them the money. And they're all in the hands of AFOLs across New Zealand now. So.
Yeah, good. Well done, Dan.
And they were big, like A0 or something. They were huge, you know. And there were some real cool pieces.
So we've had a look at some pretty advanced photos straight up here. Joe, without getting into camera settings or anything like that, what tips would you give to people trying out Lego photography?
The best thing they can get is a smartphone. I stand behind a smartphone 100%. And I think that's where everybody should start and have a go and just give it a go and have fun and don't. Like, people are pretty ruthless online too, and you really just got to do it for your own enjoyment and not really care what other people think, because you're never going to be the best straight off the bat, and it takes time. And I think the most important thing is just to have fun with it and watch YouTube videos and try and find your own style. That's what I was going to say. It's kind of hard.
That's what I was going to say. Like, when we mentioned before how it is obviously toy photography or Lego photography, it's all getting more popular now. And it's because you've got smartphones that have a macro lens, a normal lens, a zoom lens. So it's becoming so mainstream because everyone's got that top quality camera now anyway. You don't need, your big, your monster cameras with huge lenses and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you just go into my...
Yeah, go on.
I'll show you a really good, like a 100% phone photo edit. If Bilsy goes back onto my Instagram later, I'll show you a photo.
On the you good old concrete bricks one?
Yes. So there's a Mandalorian one. This one? Down one. The one just below it.
That one?
Yeah. Yeah. That's 100% shot and edited on my phone.
That's awesome.
So,
and it's so hard to tell, hey.
Yeah, maybe if I'd shot it on my camera, all I'd say is that that noise in the shadows where I've had to bring the shadows right up, it probably would like maybe look a little bit cleaner. You know what I mean? But like that's it.
And what about from a setup perspective? So use your iPhone, all the rest of it, setting up the shot for beginners. What's a good starting point?
Well, I think if the close-up ones like we've been looking at, it's probably on your phone. Like, I'm a big believer when you're starting out, you should always try and sort of set scale. So if you say a minifig on the ground and there's blades of grass that are bigger than the minifig, it kind of ruins the scale a little bit. If you could just sort of look in the little area you're going to use and try and make it that everything in that little area for your shot is going to be like sort of in scale with the minifig kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then when you do start using...
Miller just mentioned a good example of toy photographer appealing to non-toy fans is Tanaka Tetsuya. I think a lot of people have heard of that guy. Like, he's very popular, but like you said, it's getting to a point now where toy and Lego photography is massively appealing to non-Lego fans, and it's good in a way. Yeah, it's just going to push the bar up. One thing I do want to mention, how we're talking about practical effects. We'll go back to you in a sec, Joe. I just found a video I want to show you that Joe was helping me out with. So if anyone's seen on my YouTube channel, I did the explosion for the haunted house. So just to show you how real Joe is when it comes to being real with you know.
Probably a little bit too much pepper on that one, though, to be honest.
Yeah, look, run, get out of there. So, like, yeah, so, you know, it's Joe's definitely a little bit of a pyro when it comes to the effects. for the effect, if you haven't seen it, the close-up view of that explosion as Joe was running away, yeah, it absolutely annihilated the Lego. So credit to, you know, putting real effects into your photos.
But you should tell the full story. We had a total fail 2 weeks before where we tried little ones and nothing happened. And you're like, we need to go bigger. So I said, okay, we'll go bigger. And if we need to go bigger, yeah. I apologise. You guys are kind of putting me on the spot a little bit. I worked about 13 and a half hours today. So I've been up since 3. So just bear with me.
Hold on, I'll see if I can YouTube a violin for you. I did just find a video on BrickFlix, so it might give us a bit of an example. I love this guy. Oh, look, it's even stop motion, Andrew, mate. Cool, you.
Yeah, it's good quality stop motion too.
Don't worry, I got some stop motion questions for you next, Andrew. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Look how smooth it is.
Look how good that is.
Camera movements as well with stop motion that's when you're advanced.
But you know what I'm noticing, and I've noticed you're 10 times better than this than anyone else. The facial movements, you kill it in the facial movements. No one matches. Yeah. No one matches your facial movements. I've noticed. Like, yours is one of the best when it comes to talking in that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I got the like I had custom made phonetic mouth movements that I pop on.
Black and white's cool.
Goes a long way.
He does well. Like, I like that the stop motion's in. So this one's going back to you, Andrew. Did you, when you first all the way back, did you start as photo or as stop motion?
As stop motion. Photo was something I started to fill up the feed when I wasn't making videos, or to, you know, because videos can take some time to make and you want to keep the feed pretty consistent on Instagram. So I started doing photos to kind of fill the gaps in between. And my animation started on Instagram when they first introduced video. You weren't able to import from your camera roll. You had to press and hold record to do a video on Instagram. So I was there tapping the screen frame by frame as basically a video to make stop motions on Instagram. So that's probably what helped me go so well, because I was the only one with animations on Instagram because you couldn't import from the camera roll.
That's some dedicated hard
work. And they're
work.
rough. They're very bouncy, but they're rough. But it was a starting point.
And now look at you.
Now,
Dan, I got a question for Dan, actually. You know, when, like, your big builds, you did your monster, your what was it, the post office, the fire engine, train station, whatever it was?
Fire station.
Yeah, your fire station.
Right.
Yep. I've seen some wicked photos of that thing. How did did you go get the photos there, or was that you for them photos, or did you go down there and that's what you wanted as the background type thing, or?
So the best photos with that one were, again, it was just about using scale and trying not to get anything in the background. So they were mostly the close-up shots. One thing I always regret with that, and with most of my mocks, is not having good quality photos without crap in the background. So, a couple of years ago at one of our shows in Wellington, we brought in some photographers, and they got smashed all weekend. Those photographers were just there for the exhibitors to take whatever they could over to them to be photographed professionally. And we also got them to try and go around some of the bigger builds with a couple of people holding up a black background so that they could take some photos. Because it's one of the things, I think, at any Lego show, people with big builds, big mocks, it's so hard to get quality photos without all the shit in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good idea.
For anyone organizing shows, if you can employ photographers to come and actually take photos of people's builds, just the builds. What these guys did was, I think we paid them to be there, and it was mates rates. And then everyone got, I think it might have been 1 or 2 photos for free of their model, and if they wanted more, they just, they worked out a deal between them and the photographer. It might have been $5 a photo or something like that. So, I definitely think it's worthwhile for the bigger stuff to have professional photographers with lights and stuff able to take nice, clean photos.
Yeah, it's hard taking photos of big mocks like that because they're not built for photography how myself and Joe would do it. Like you want to get down to the eye level of the minifigs, you want to get right in there, and there's so much stuff in the way. You've got to move and you can't just take out a wall to get a camera and stuff like that. It's tricky.
Sometimes you just got to pick the angles, and if you can pick the angles and just get someone to stand on the other side of it with a black sheet, enough to clean up the background and get someone else holding a light at the right angle as well. I've seen some okay stuff.
I was about to say, it's actually really hard to light a mock properly too, successfully without it putting glare off everywhere, and especially if you try to use a flash, it's even harder.
Yeah,
that's a good segue for glow bricks. Just saying, but not
impossible.
Really.
LEDs aren't the problem.
One thing I do want to show, and he's probably the only night. Hold on, Miller's got a question before I jump into that.
Yeah,
question. What does everyone use for lighting in their photos? I find it hard to give my models even lighting without the space for a light box. So Joe probably have the best answer for this one.
Hang on.
So I use little loom cubes. So I buy them online, and they're like a LED light, little LED. And it's important with any light, especially in the LEDs, if they're white, you need to have some sort of a filter. So whether you use a specially made filter or even just a bit of tissue paper or even a tissue over the light. So even if you've only got a white lamp and some baking paper around it, just to sort of exactly like that, just to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that'll help give that even light, and see you won't get the reflections off different points and stuff like that.
Baking paper is a great tip. That's true.
It is, and it's cheap and it's easy. So you can just have a basic lamp, like a $10 lamp from Kmart, baking paper, and you've got a nice soft light. But that they're the best, but they're also about $120 each.
Yeah. So there's the LEDs, and then there's these, which is the Loom Cube, and it comes with a bunch of different gels that you pop on the front for different color. You can get different accessories like spotlight, stuff like that, and it really adds to the things that you can do when taking photos. Yeah.
You can, obviously the Loom Cube's good because it's on battery, but for some of the videos that I've done, you can get LED globes and put it in like a lamp. It's obviously not, it doesn't look good, but it still gives you that effect. If you need to do like a moon or a sunset, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even
the light my bricks, if you don't have them in any sets, I've used them a bunch of times. Like just have a connection with 4 of them attached that I pull in and out of sets all the time. Put them in the background. Goes a long way. I've got an example. I'll send you.
Brent's used coloured cups at the end of a torch. That's a pretty good one too. Be nice and filtered.
lights, in all honesty, after you've got a camera or a good smartphone, if you want to do any photography at all, regardless of what it is, whether it's portraiture or toys or mocks or anything, the best thing to invest in is lights. You know, if you've
100%.
got any money at all invested in lights, I've got 2 key lights above in my studio, and they are horrendously expensive, but the controllability of the light and of the intensity and the temperature is worth every penny.
Yeah, I think as you sort of progress as a photographer as well, you sort of realize how important your lighting is. Your lighting almost becomes more important than it's sort of 70% of how you compose your shot sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'll get to Andrew. Just sent me some photos. I'll get to them in a sec, dude. My Facebook's wigging out, but I wanted to show, and I'm going to give some love to good old Henry. He's probably not even watching tonight, but if anyone's noticed, Henry's photography skills, and going back to what you were saying before, Dan, with the plain backgrounds. So when he started building the chappies, he's, it's just plain white, nice and simple and easy. But what I'm loving what Henry's doing, when it's a finished product like these, he's got, the clean white look, the neat background. Yeah. But then when he's showing a build or in progress photo, he's purposely putting, it's going to be a video, but he's purposely putting the builds, his desk in the background. Like he's, subliminally he's being real smart. Like you say, you look at this one, right? There's no need. And a lot of tech YouTubers and other photographers do this as well. And I love it. There's no need for this stuff to be on the table if you're building the bust. Do you know what I mean? But like all the stuff that's around on the table. And it's like when they put that extra, I guess, filler stuff in or whatever, it just sells the picture or what you're trying to do more.
So do you think, has Henry purposely staged those shots on the desk though?
I guarantee he has, 100%. Yeah. Guaranteed. So same as this one. You don't think much of it, but this would be staged. You know what I mean? And it's so subliminal. It's so subliminal. You don't realize that it is set out like that. And you go watch. Perfect example. Go watch a tech YouTuber that's showing you a phone, and I guarantee he's got a keyboard and a microphone or something else around the border of the photo. You know what I mean? To fill in the frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I love that look because you don't realize until you're actually looking for it what they've done. While talking about Henry too, I'll give him a big shout out. Guys, go and get onto Henry's book. So Henry and Cade have pre-released and opened up their pre-orders for their book. You can buy it online or you can get a hard copy. We are going to be lucky enough. So Dan, Andrew, and obviously Bilsy, we will be one of the first to get the book each, and we're going to go through it. I don't know if I told you, Dan or Andrew, yet, but we're going to get a book each.
I'm just glad that we can finally talk about it. Man. This is like been 2 years in the making. Like when Henry when Cade came over for Dunedin, we were talking about it. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, they got delayed and delayed and delayed on that one, It's like,
and it was all small little hiccups, like there was a stud out of place or there was something wrong with the color wouldn't like, or it was all these minute speed ups. So go and check out Henry or Cade's Instagram and all the links and stuff there. But it's still not being released till like July or August.
August, Father's Day.
Yeah, there's still Father's Day.
So pre-orders April, and then it'll arrive for August.
Nice. So that'd be the most exciting thing for our Father's Day coming up. Anyway,
you've got another question there, Bilsy.
Yeah. From Hayden. I work with Hayden. How about the Samsung S20 macro? Yeah. So same as we said before with a lot of the phones with the macro settings. It's gonna it's next level. You don't need. I tell you, man, 2 years you're not going to need an SLR. At all. You just won't.
You barely need them now, to be fair.
True.
Pretty much.
So going back to the lighting, we've got to give Andrew some credit. So I just going through his page now. Like,
look at that. So are they the little LEDs from Light My Bricks?
Yeah. So this is on my balcony. So it's literally just concrete and a concrete wall for yellow LEDs from Light My Bricks, just on the ground. You can see the wires. And a lume cube right behind the minifig and the atmosphere aerosol, which creates that glow. Yeah. No, super basic. Like I've done
Did
nothing.
you have
with
any
the fig.
trouble? Did you have any trouble with the too much light coming from behind the fig? Like, did you have to take a little bit out in post?
Yeah, I may have had the cone on it to get it a bit more
So
directional.
I've never seen
I
any of those parts.
I don't think I did actually. I think that was straight up behind the fig, and I just lined him up close enough to the camera that he blocked the direct light. So there we are. That was the spotlight with some LEDs over the top for that stage thing.
You know who I got to give credit for good lighting? Kale. He knows how to stage a nice lighting shot.
Yeah. Go to the Power
Can
Ranger things there and the dragon.
Yep.
It's awesome.
So I know, Joe, you've got some special effects you use. That's literally, I think, 3 sparklers. So I don't have the fancy ones like you. It's straight up sparklers, but it works,
So Parko said you'll still need SLRs. It depends on what you want to blow up the prints or not. No, man, if you're getting cameras that are going to pull 50 megapixel photos, if you've got that stillness and no noise, you can blow that up to A0 and it's not going to affect it.
Mm.
The sensors are that amazing now. I'm just trying to find another lighting photo.
Also, a lot of the cameras.
Oh, there we go. The bedtime one. Yeah.
Look at that.
See, I do love the minifigure photography. I think it's really cool because it's easy to tell a story. But there is a style of photography that I like, and Shy Time is My Time, Instagram, and a YouTuber. He does a lot of photography around just Lego in the home or just Lego with a little bit of a story behind it. And he's actually just put a video out on YouTube about how he does his photography. And his style is really different in the sense of like his most recent one is the flower bouquet, but it's almost like lifestyle shots that Lego use in their promotional material. And he does that all using a phone as well. So,
I'm just trying to find him now. I found his YouTube. I can't find his Instagram.
It's super. Let me. Maybe I can share it.
I've noticed this. I think everybody probably would have noticed it. It's becoming quite popular now when you do post a photo to post the setup as well, like in another slide with it. And I think that's
hashtag BTS.
Yeah, I mean, how much stuff do you learn from that?
It's
the behind the scenes stuff.
I know, it's excellent, and it's also something that I'm terrible at.
Yeah.
I'll literally spend an hour setting something up and get all my shots, and then I'll go,
down,
I really should have taken yeah, and I should have taken a photo of it. Damn it.
Do you get so you go out in public a lot and take photos. Do you end up with people gathering around you watching you take your photos?
Well, on the Gold, to be honest, Gold Coast, and if I am out at public, it's at sunrise. So I've had crackheads down at Labrador sort of come and sort of hustle around me and ask what I'm doing in that, because it was at like 4:30 a.m. or something. That's all. Yeah. But and to be honest, they've always been friendly. They're just sort of wondering what I'm doing down there. So.
Everyone's just
and
curious,
it's the Gold Coast, man. If you've not got a camera in front of you, you're probably out of place.
Yeah. Oh well, look, they're beautifully lit. These.
Yeah, they're nice.
Natural light. Yeah, they're all natural light. And I think one of the things he talks about in his video is that he never puts anything in the dead center of the screen. It's always like slightly offset or slightly up above or slightly below. Or and there's just some of his shots that I think are just absolutely, beautiful. When I really like the overhead stuff.
Which stuff, Dan?
The overhead stuff.
Yeah. Well, there was that one there. I mean, it's not, the plane. Where was it up here? This one. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's just so subtle and different,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Overhead.
That flower one, like you said, that flower one is pretty, that is pretty nice. Very natural.
Looks great.
Yeah. I like the overhead of the chessboard, actually. I think that one is probably one of the, that one there. And it's.
And you know what? This brings it back to like I was saying. You see what I mean? How they subliminally put extras in the photos?
Yeah.
It's awesome. That is pretty cool, though.
And all of that's just done around his house with phone,
Yeah. And he obviously doesn't have a cat, so
No, he does say in his video that he spends quite a bit of time cleaning up first, because he's got kids and stuff, and he's got to spend a bit of time and you even see him wiping down the tables and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I've noticed in a couple of my videos lately, been pointed out to me that there's a dog here or something on the minifigures when I'm doing close-up shots of the
100%.
minifigures. So
You can't help it. Henry said it when I interviewed him about his book. He's like, that damn plastic is so damn staticky. There's hair on everything all the time.
Yeah.
You don't notice it until you've got it on the computer screen and you're seeing it full size.
I've blown up some of the Lego official photos to real large, and you can see hair and dust on
They've
them.
got it. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. You're never going to get all of it.
And it's funny when you talk about the Great Ball Contraption guys, and even Henry's moving Wild West stuff. The dust starts turning into friction, starts breaking things.
Yeah,
it gets to a point where it's pretty full on and rough.
Starts to
right,
accumulate.
I think we've touched on most of the topics. We've all got our own little favorites and bits and pieces and Lego. Damn, Shy Time's got a lot of army stuff, eh?
Yeah, he's an ex-Marine, so the military stuff is his favorite. I just thought he was quite a clever photographer.
Very nice. We get those figures here at the markets. They're great.
Yeah, the non-official ones. Yeah.
They're definitely my son's favorite. Yeah. I would get them from Brickmania and that, but they're like $40 each. Those little figs.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're very expensive.
And then you add weapons and stuff to it as well. They become quite expensive real quick, but they're beautiful.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for obviously another Monday night. We've had a good chat and a good back and forward. Something different, shaking it up a bit. Joe, thanks for coming in and filling in Bill's spot and talking about your photo stuff. So hopefully it starts. Or you find some more time and get more Lego photos out there. People, go and follow him on Instagram. It is as you can see on his screen, Concrete Bricks with a K.
Also, 100% approachable. If anybody ever wants to know anything or help with something photography-wise, just swing me a DM, and I'm always very happy to. Especially if you're new to it and you got a phone, I'm more than happy to help.
Just need some fireworks, cheers.
Yeah, and fireworks and explosion.
Yeah, that too.
And obviously, MrCheapJokes.com. Go and check it out. He said he's finally caught up with the season 1 photos and info and all that stuff too. So go back through that. And during the week, Dan put his review up for Fill Me In. What was it? Blacksmith, and I loved it. My favorite review you've done so far. So, and I even said off, not blowing your ass. I even said to him, your reviews are getting so tight and clean now, man. I'm really liking them. So go and check out Dan's YouTube.
Oh, guys.
Mate, you must. It is, dude. Like your videos become like. I like the voiceovers, the cuts. It's good. You put effort into it. That's all it needs.
Oh, man. The East Coast just got hotter tonight.
Mate, it's all love. It's all love. And then my channel, I'll be putting. We'll talk about this off air earlier. I've got 150 LEDs to put in the Ecto 1 this week, so that'll be on my channel.
Your night's planned.
Hopefully by Friday. Have a good Australia Day, people. Everyone in New Zealand, have a good whatever that Pakatani, whatever it was, day was.
I don't know. Anniversary day today.
That one.
When's Australia Day for you?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow.
I've got to work. Ugh.
Oh, boo-hoo. And Jason, get a room. We do, mate. It's called a Zoom room. It's the best.
All right. Wrap it up.
All right. See you later, everybody.